What is up, No Walls Podcast? In case we have not yet met, my name is Chris Riley, and I'm your host here on the No Walls Podcast. And man, we are so glad that you're here. We are so glad that you showed up and you came to visit the No Walls Podcast. So if you're here on Spotify, if you're here on Apple, we just want to say thank you so much. But if you're here on YouTube and you're watching this right now, we just want to say thank you 1,000, because man, that means a ton to us. If you could just leave a like, leave a subscribe, leave something in the comments, tell us what you're doing. Man, we really want to know. But right now, we are coming from New York City, which is insane. We are actually on the statue. Is it called Liberty Statue or Liberty Island?
I think it's Liberty Island.
Liberty Island. So we are here, and man, this is crazy. This is insane. We were having a normal week. Actually, it was just kind of running through the rhythms of the week, and the next thing you know, a Wednesday day, a lot of things happened. And so today we're just going to tell you the story about it. And you want to start out?
Yeah. So this right here, that's the Statue of Liberty. Woo! She's facing away from us. She doesn't want to watch the podcast, but she's right there. If we haven't met, my name is Preston. I get to be the student pastor at Brick Youth. This is my wife, Fallon.
Hi, I'm Fallon. I get to be the worship pastor at Brick Youth.
And so Chris is also our cousin. And so the other day we were chilling. It was a Wednesday, fall break. And we went and we did Muskogee's FCA. We got to go out and preach the gospel to some students. Chris actually did it. Did a great job. And then we went and got breakfast after that, because after Muskogee's FCA, we got the privilege of going and doing Oktaha's FCA at noon. Yeah. And so we were killing some time. We went and got some breakfast. And we're there at breakfast, and we just kind of start talking. And we were like, man, we're off this Sunday. What could we do during fall break? And we're like, oh, we could go to New York City. And we're just kind of joking around. And then Taylor Otterbein looks at us and says, why are you joking around? And we were like, well, because it's New York City. Like, how? Like, we've been there once. We want to go back eventually. But when he's like, when's a better time than now? We're like, I don't know when a better time is. I haven't really thought about it. And he's like, well, surely there's a price. And if we can get to that price, then you can go to New York City. And Chris is like, I'll go to New York City with you, bro. We'll go with you. And we're all like just talking about it. And we start looking at hotels and airplanes. And we got it after Taylor looked for about 2 hours.
He was so dedicated. And then like we were at the church and bro's still scrolling on his phone. And then we're talking and he comes and finds us. And he's like, I found the price. He said, what do you think about this?
Yeah.
It was so cool because we were practicing for FCA because we did worship at Oktaha, and we were singing, me, Kelsey, and Jake, we were singing Waymaker. Yeah. And then he comes through the door and he goes, I just see him in the corner, and I'm like, I think he found tickets. That's crazy.
Yeah, and so what started off as a normal Wednesday with no plans for the weekend ended up us leaving Thursday at 6 a.m. We actually left our house at Thursday at like what, Wednesday? 1 a.m. or midnight?
It was Wednesday. Oh, yeah, midnight.
Midnight, and then got to the airport in Little Rock. We left there at 6 a.m. and we're here. We're here. We've been here.
I think we were awake for around 30 hours.
Yeah.
From like when we decided to go to New York City till we got here. We couldn't check into our hotel until 3, so we're just walking around, and we had been up for 30 hours. Yeah. It was just so cool.
On top of that, Tyler and Caitlin Sisson. Tyler Sisson is the energy pastor at Brick Youth, and Caitlin's his wife. And they were already in New York City on vacation, and so we surprised them, and it was incredible. And yeah, it was wild. Yeah, we put the video in. Yeah, the video's gonna go right now.
We're about to see you, Tyler and Caitlin.
Oh, we're in the window.
Dude.
That would be epic.
That would be so funny. I see him.
No, you do not.
They're, I see him right there.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Should we just try to get their attention?
Okay.
They don't record things. Yeah, start recording.
Where are they?
They're right there. Should we go in? Yeah. We're gonna I mean, I'm hungry.
Okay, we can sit right next to them.
Yeah.
sit next to him?
Yeah, right.
Thank you so much.
So yeah, so we surprised them, and that was wild. That was awesome. But really, like, this is all fun. We've had a great time here. We've enjoyed being out here and making memories and all that stuff. But we're this is a podcast for students, where we're talking about getting the church outside of the walls and having those kinds of conversations. And we really have a conversation today about, like, how do we get here? What are some principles that got us here, and how can those actually apply to your life? Because right now you're probably like, well, cool for you. You're in New York City. What does it have to do with me? Well, what happened on a normal Wednesday was we were surrounded by people who thought anything was possible. We were having a normal day, chilling, not thinking we were doing anything for the weekend, but we were surrounded by people who thought, no, like, anything is possible if God makes a way for it. Now, obviously, on the back end, we had saved up money. We had some finances. We had some things that God had blessed us with. That's part of why we were able to make the trip. But had we not had Taylor there to point out, actually, you guys have everything you need. If you can just find the way to get the numbers right, then you can actually go to New York City. And I think actually a lot of times with the way we see ourselves, with the way we see our potential futures, with the way we see our everyday lives, it's really hard for us to think that things are possible until someone shows us the way that it's possible. Yeah. I don't have this exact numbers memorized, but Taylor's actually the one who told me about this. There's like, no one had ever ran like a 4-minute mile or something like that, or a 5-minute mile, like in all of history. It had never been recorded. One person did it, and then the next year, like 17 people did it. Why? Well, not because 17 people just randomly got faster, because 17 people saw that it was possible, and then they got it in their head that they could do it. And like sometimes it's just seeing that something is possible is the thing that will get you there. Did you have a scripture for that?
I mean, the one that comes to my mind is Hebrews 11:1. It says that faith is the substance of things hoped for and the assurance of things not yet seen. I mean, I think that was like, that could sum up this whole trip, which is wild. We were all praying, like, over all the things. Man, there were so many variables, too.
Literally about to say, like, the amount of things that had to fall into place in a, like, 7-hour window. Yeah. We had to find tickets that were affordable. We had to find a place to stay, which we didn't find until we were at the airport about to board our plane. Chris had to get off of work. And then when all of that fell into place, we were like, me and Preston don't have real IDs. Yeah. Well, God pulled through and we didn't end up needing it. So it was just every single thing that could have gotten in the way, God made a way for it.
Yeah, it was wild. It was insane. I remember, legit, everything had fallen into place, and all that I had left was just to get off work for 2 days. Yeah. And I remember we were all praying on the stage, and we were just like, you're the way maker. You still do these things. We're believing it right now. If you already made this much of the variables fall into place, you'll make these other things fall into place. Even y'all's no ID thing, yes. That was crazy. For information, you have to have is it called real IDs? Yeah. You have to have a real ID to go now to fly places. And you guys didn't have one, but God made a way, and here we are. But with the work thing, we were heading to Oaktaha, right? And I had sent a message to the group chat for Queen City, and I was like, oh my goodness, I know if God did all this stuff, he can do this. And we're driving, and then my phone goes off, and it says, like, it was a text from Kylie. Shout out to Kylie. She's, like, the greatest manager ever. It says, go have fun in New York City. Don't worry about the shifts. And I was like, what? And that was like less than an hour, and then a whole bunch of prayers, bro. And I was just like, it's just so awesome.
Yeah. To make it tangible, I want to give you a couple of things. The first thing is, community is important. The church is important, because there will be times in your life, seasons in your life, whenever, not just vacations, but like whenever there are actually difficult things that are coming up, whenever life looks hard, whenever you have something in the way, whatever it might be for you. And you need to surround yourself with people who think that all things are possible, that God can do all things, because they'll actually give you hope in they'll give you faith and hope in those times to know that you can actually get through it. Right? For us, it was faith to believe we could get to New York City. But there are times when it's faith to believe you can actually get through the rest of the week. And whenever you surround yourself with people in community that actually believe God can do all things, then they will pump that hope, pump that faith into you, and let you know that, you know, God can move through you. God can do what he needs to do to get you through the thing that you're in. The second thing is just kind of like what faith is, right? Like to think that God cares about the little things. He cares about just us having a good time. He cares about our happiness. He cares about the idea that we can actually be making memories, and he would actually make a way for us to go to something like New York City just to have a good time. That's an incredible thing, and I think that we actually serve a God that does do that. And so my encouragement to you is to invite God in every aspect of your life, and actually don't be surprised whenever he shows up, because he will. Just like Tyler and Caitlin were surprised when we showed up. Don't be surprised when God shows up. It's actually more likely that God will show up in your situation than we would show up in New York City to see Tyler and Caitlin. So yeah, that's kind of what I have. So like whatever you're wrestling with, whatever you're doing today, whatever you want to see come to pass, like give it to God. Pray that it's part of his plan, that he wants to see it happen. Pray that he would move in it, and believe that he will, and surround yourself with people who will encourage that faith and encourage your hope in that. So yeah,
absolutely. I remember the thing that we were talking about it was The Office. It was like Taylor was like, we serve a God that like he will make way for things that like even if like it doesn't like happen to do anything that's like okay, it didn't like boost anything within like a ministry or do anything or do this or that, like he will just do things just because like he's that good of a God. He just cares about his children. He loves his children so much he'll do that. Romans 4:17 says that he calls things into being, things that were even not. And so another translation says that he calls things into existence, the things that were not even in existence. And so I mean, it's just crazy that we're here. It's just crazy that we get to do this. And so this is a cool podcast. Just come a little up on here, just give you a little word, give you a little encouragement. We're so glad that you were here. We're so glad that you showed up. Thank you guys so much for being here, and thank you guys for being here on the No Walls podcast. If you are here, go leave this thing a like, go leave this thing a subscribe, and leave something in the comments. Tell us what you're doing on your fall break. We want to know, and we will see you Wednesday at the Brick Church in Muskogee, Oklahoma. Middle school, doors open at 6 o'clock, and in high school, doors open at 6:30. We love you guys, and we'll see you soon. Bye, y'all.